We are back out here. It's the next day and we're out to item number 2 on this job. So this is where we dumped the dirt from yesterday that came out of that riprap channel. So this drainage basin here, it is too small and it's too low right here. So the water can't get under it. So what's happened is it's all eroded away. So what we're going to do here is take out all this concrete, pack in a bunch of dirt to rebuild it. We're going to re-pour this, make it bigger and taller. We're also going to increase the standoff height of the lid here, and we're just going to reuse that lid. So that's what we're working on today.
Take me this out.
See what you can do. Alright, so one of the things I had to determine when I was quoting this job was if that culvert was clear. And so that culvert is clear. I'll walk down to the outfall and shine my light back up through there in a sec here. So because that's clear, what's happening here is it's just getting overwhelmed with water off of the parking lot here. And so we're gonna dig this all out, all the concrete, fill in the dirt that got washed away, and then pour the concrete. Pour it larger and taller. We're also going to increase the standoffs here.
As you can see, it's been overflowing on the top side and eroding the whole top of this drainage basin here.
Brand new now. The first part of this job is just getting this old concrete basin demoed. And so we get all this concrete broken up and loaded into the back of the old dump truck. And that gets taken for concrete recycling. We were working pretty hard on this concrete demo for quite a while. And this concrete, I think they had come through here a couple times and like just poured way more concrete, and the parking lot had collapsed and they just filled it full of concrete. So this was some really thick, tough concrete we were trying to get through here, and so it just wasn't really going too well for us. And so I finally decided, instead of chipping it into a million pieces, to see if I could just pull it out as one big slab. Alright, let me see what I can do in here, if anything.
When one of those grandson, the 3-year-old, come up, he's still in diapers, the 5-year-old. Get up his back. He's just walking around, what the hell's going on? I take charge attitude. Yeah. He's like that. That's it, kid. You're good.
Get it out of there. Don't drop it.
Yeah, don't drop it.
Mike!
Don't drop it, baby. Big guy.
I was able to get that big chunk of concrete out of there, but I wasn't able to lift it up as one piece. So the guys are using the gas jackhammers over here, and they break it in two for me so I can actually move it.
They've been beating on this for quite a bit, trying to make a seam in here. See if we can break this thing in two. Yes, it will break. It will break in two. Oh yeah, yeah, baby. It's big.
We're making pretty good progress getting this dug out. I wanted to show you really quickly, this piece of concrete though is super thick. And it's also hollow, so it looks like it's pulling away right here. So because it's not very thick right here, we're gonna see if we can't just take a little piece off of it with a saw and get it cleaned up a little bit, and then just come back and concrete over all of it. So that's what we're trying now. We're also getting this flattened out and getting the tamper ready to get this compacted really well. We are just getting wrapped up for today. So Harvey and his crew will be here midweek to re-pour all this concrete, but we got everything dug out, we got all the old concrete out, we got it pretty well compacted, widened a little bit for some more concrete, We got this original lid back on here, and we're just getting cleaned up. That'll be taken off to recycling on Monday. I forgot to move this lid out of the way. We are all formed up here and we're just waiting for concrete. So let's take a look. So this is all hollow underneath here. So I brought the concrete vibrator to try to get some concrete to slide under there and fill in that void. But we're just waiting for concrete now. Tell him to let it bring it on. That cavern swallowed up quite a bit of concrete.
You gotta fix that plywood left.
They just finished pouring this, so they're going to let it set up for a little bit so they can actually form it and work with it. The concrete truck driver left us a little pile of concrete here so we can do any touching up we need to on this drainage basin. I am back out here. It's the next day and I wanted to check on this basin. The concrete guys are on their way to pull these form boards off, so let's take a look. So I'd say it looks pretty good.
Wow.
What do you think? You like it?
Looks a lot better than what I did before.
Yep. This is why you hire the people who do this every day instead of me screwing around trying to get it right.
I guess it's there.
Yep, I'll be back over here tomorrow with my mini Bobcat to get the finish grade it and use my Harley rake. That'll break up all these chunks real nice. Gotta get these big rocks out of here though. I wanted to talk for a minute about this concrete work. So this drainage job was my job, and the question comes up as, could I have done this concrete work myself and saved the money that I had to pay for the concrete work to be done? And the answer to that is possibly. So I probably could have come in here with my guys and we could have ordered some concrete and put up some 2x4s for a form, but would it have come out as good? And so I spent money to hire Harvey and his crew to come out here and do the concrete work. And you're going to see the rest of the concrete work here on the next video. And so if I spent money for this concrete work, that means I made less money on the job. So let's talk for a minute about what did I get for the money I spent by hiring out the concrete part. Well, the first thing I got was I got a much better job in the end. And I didn't have to do anything except help out the concrete guys. They did all the work. They supplied all the materials. The major thing is, look at how nice this turned out. And so, could I have achieved this? I doubt it. And starting with the fact that when Harvey called in the concrete order, he ordered some special mix that I'd never heard of. And he said that it works better when you're forming it vertically and lasts better. And so, the second thing I got for the money I spent was simply giving the concrete crew some more work and building that relationship, because if I need something, these people that you work with are there. If they need something, I'm there. And so you can't be focused on bottom line and profit all the time. Now, I do have a contractor friend who is focused on profit, and he's told me straight up he doesn't want to hire any help because he'd rather keep all the money for himself. And so he basically works alone all day. And the other thing about that is whenever he does call for help, we all know that the job is so completely not worth it that he's not willing to do it. And so we haven't worked with him in a long time because all he cares about is money. And so I think by working together, even though you don't make as much money personally, that all of that comes back to you in the end, because now I have a good concrete crew. If I need something, I can call on them. They'll come out and help me with grading. They'll help me hauling stuff. So I think building that relationship, even if it means giving up a little bit of the bottom line, is very, very worth it. And so relationships is a very important part of any successful business. We were doing some more drainage work a few buildings down and had a bunch of dirt coming out of there. And so on this day, I took the dump trailer down there, and you'll have to see that on the next video. But we repurposed the dirt coming out of that portion for this drainage basin here. So here we are just dumping this dirt over here where we can fill in and do some finish grading. we're getting this lid picked back up after it's been sitting here for a couple days, and it's covered with ants. So let me show you how we get rid of those guys. I was working with a pretty tight budget on this job, and so I had said that we would reuse the lids that were still in good shape. But once we set this old lid on this new basin, it became instantly clear that I should have just put in the quote that we would pour a new lid because it would have looked a lot better. And so that's one thing that I would have done differently on this job. Now, we ended up repointing it with some hydraulic concrete patch to make it look a little bit better, but it was still a little bit too small once we made this basin a little bit bigger. So I wish I had just gone ahead and put in the quote that we would pour new lids instead of trying to stay within their budget as best I could. And if they went for it, they went for it, and it would have looked better. So that's one thing I would have done differently. We are finished over here with this side. Looking back, we made this whole thing bigger, so maybe we should have done a bigger lid, but the quote said original lid because this one was still in good shape, so we just put that lid back and we just redid the basin. But that should be really, really good. We fixed all this where it was all eroded away. We just brought in a bunch of the dirt from the other sites on the same project and filled it all in, so that should be really, really good. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Alright, this one looks like it's moving some water. So, look at that guy. That's moving some serious water. We probably should have re-poured that lid to make it a little bit bigger, but they were on a budget here, so we reused that lid. We pointed it up. How's it going? Alright, I just wanted to take one more look at this, see how it's doing.